Squeaky door, that's off. Actually, maybe it is. They're heading ramp. This is similar.
Oh, it is. They just had extra nades for it.
Okay, well, are they going to use these towards lower, or are they going to pivot here? Because they got the ramp room, so that's the change-up. This time, hitting the brakes.
Coming back towards lobby.
Oh,
MIBR is so confused right now. They're coming back up the ladder, and Insani, of course, getting involved. Turtle will knock one down too, and finally, JKS and Hunter start doing something here for G2. They're into the site, smokes are out for main, and it's going to be pretty easy.
Oh dear, getting low on HP now, poor Hunter.
Yeah, Monesi's position's pretty sick right now up in heaven. I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with him, especially since they're all coming in from the same position from main, so JKS can just be that first player to take fights. Monesi's watching the flank. As long as the clock gets rotted here, it should be easy enough for the post plan and Monesi up in heaven.
Wait, they have a molly on Insani though.
Ooh, that could be interesting.
You can throw that on up, but JKS dishing out another headshot.
If that goes heaven, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
It goes up heaven, and Monesi's down, and suddenly Insani's making so much happen. And now they're sticking the defuse. The time certainly ticking. Hunter can't go through the fire, but now has to go, but Insani brings him down. And another huge round from Insani.
Wow.
This is Nico's fault.
That molly got
He died with
up.
That position for him for G2 forever.
Oh, dear.
That was unfortunate for G2, but that's a great example of what we're talking about, right? So last Nuke, they rush ramp, like they just break door, molly vents. Now they do the same opening, right? And they rush towards ramp, so it's looking the same. And then they just come back. And you could see the over-rotation from MIBR. It was like a perfect call. Monesi is up heaven without anyone seeing him, nothing. It was only how the round unfolded in the retake that, you know, MIBR knew that they were there, and the molly saved the round for them.
And the buy is looking quite tidy here on the G2 side with that plan. AK3 Galils, a MAC-10 short.
AK on your boy.
Yeah, look, well, he got the most kills, so you got to give it to him.
You gotta love JKS and pistol rounds, man. He's just got... You were talking about fantasy on the desk. You know, there's a little tip. If you ever have JKS, always put the booster on for the best pistol. He always gets it, it feels like.
It's a good shout. It's a good shout.
We also were wrong, apparently, Chad. You know, if there's a team that misses out on a game, there's this like padding, yeah. I don't play fantasy, so I don't know, but I'm
it's not a lot of
disappointed in you.
points. Not a lot of points.
Only a few points. This one here, if you're wondering what G2 are up to, it's allowing MIBR to sink through some of their U-tilt and then try and make this one a bit more of a fairer fight. Now, Henny has a very good idea that somebody could have dropped on towards main here. It will be Nico, hiding in plain sight. U-tilt in play now.
Oh, Nico's starting to move forward. In the meantime, the rest of his pack are moving forward in towards A, and Nico's actually got a really deep spot right now.
Hear him, I don't think.
He's watching this side. That's just because he's relinquished control. Nico will start to cross over towards him.
This is awkward now.
Breno's right beside him too. Nico has somehow found the perfect gap, but he hasn't looked. Oh, he hasn't looked the right way.
Look at the time, 30 seconds.
Oh, Breno didn't look when he turned back.
Come on now, come on now.
This round's ridiculous.
And they're going B. This is good for G2.
Nobody B.
How does that happen?
20 seconds, though. Hunter's going to have to get in here. Yeah, Hunter's going to have to smoke off towards Decon here. Nobody towards lower side for MIBR right now. 17 seconds, lads. Who's going to get a move on?
I've never seen a round like this.
This is a calamity of errors right here.
There's 10 seconds to plan.
10 seconds. They haven't seen anybody. How are they on B?
Confused. Like, G2 is so confused. Like, where is everybody? How did Nico not see anyone?
They were just in lobby as well.
Well, here we go. It's going to be a 5-on-5 bloodbath on the B bomb site.
No one bought a kid.
Here they come running in. JKS gets the first. They may have lost the pistol, but it's looking good for G2, and I have to go. That's so ridiculous. What a weird round.
This round.
Nico literally went into the most dangerous area of the map and didn't see anybody.
That is absurd.
No one's seen him either.
That right there, right, what we need to do, people in production listening right now, clip this scenario that's just happened here. Let's get this in the post-show, with either of these teams, doesn't matter what, and show them the craziness of this scenario, because that is just a wild round.
We need Nico to talk us through this one for him, or Hooksy, right, as a caller. Like, what's the info he's getting? How are they not seeing anyone?
Well, you see the smile on his face. I think that says it all.
Yeah, he has no idea how this happened. Like that.
That's a gift.
He's just calling ramp clear, outside clear. What's happening?
Oh, here it is. So Nico, when he swings by,
it's too fast.
Yeah, it's way too fast. But then Breno, because he was looking up the ladder, you'll see this. Oh,
that's unreal. That's actually unreal.
That's crazy.
Well, a way for MIBR to win this game was not to lose a round like that. I think that was definitely under the win condition.
At least they kept a lot of the weapons. So still a decent
I
enough.
think always the optimist.
He has to be. Someone has to be. He's sitting next to you and me, mate.
Meanwhile, Chad is already muted his mic back in his day when he's in game leading and this happens.
It's
the
all over.
classic click up.
Yeah, they all. So Rush wants to break my headset because every time like they do something, I kind of flick my mic up and it makes a noise. So they don't like it.
Yeah, we were where Chad's and Rush did sneak off and find the headset. We had to stop him from breaking it multiple times.
Oh, hello now.
They hit.
Here they come. Flashes through. Hooksy at the front. This could be a good time for him to make some kills happen, and it's just one for Hooksy. Hunter gets a double. And Monacy able to help out. Just old Breno, and you like to see that one.
Yeah, good trading and gimmicky little smoke there in players. JKS will find the final. That one they're going to deal with the player up on Mustang. I don't know what we're calling it these days. That's what they used to call it back in the Source days.
We call that position Robin.
Okay, well, that could work too. Yeah.
So, something like that. But yeah, that was like a bit of an interesting call. Like you're going A when you know they have some SMGs and stuff. You can see there's 4 players there. And Exit is sort of trying to just spam, right, like because of a rush while he was blind. But he, I think, used all of his bullets before Hooks even came out. That was a bit of comedy there. But you can see, even though that was sort of a stack, still the execute was really good. And Hunter with the double Galil kill, I think, sealed the deal for G2.
Yeah, and this one should be pretty easy here. Should be able to walk this one home, as you can all see. Just some
Using
USPs.
G2 setup against them.
Hey, this one here in Pugs is great. It's one of my faves, this one on Nuke.
Yeah, but you can't have 5 players. You need to have 4 players here and one either hut or ramp with the Zeus, close range. Because
Is that
when
for full cheese?
yeah, well, because they will call like outside stack. So a guy will just run knife out to take space somewhere else.
I see what you're saying.
And you Zeus him. You take that one AK, and all of a sudden, Chad,
There's a chance.
there's a chance.
Okay, I like that.
Look at Nico.
Oh. Now it's just a free-for-all. See how quickly you can get these kills through. Nico, Hunter, and Monacy clean them up. And now we get to another MIBR buy.
Yeah, and one of the issues, Henny had a rough go of things on Vertigo T-side, right? He was really off to a bit of a slow start there, and right now he's going to be operating in the first gun round on the CT side without an AWP. So as the AWPer, the rotating player here, this one is going to be quite difficult for him to be able to find a lot of impact. And not only that, they're light on incendiaries. They have one incendiary in total here, and again, no defuse kit, just because of how strapped the cache is.
You think like they would buy it instead of something.
Yeah.
At this point. Door rush. I love this.
Well, here comes Hooksy with the MAC-10, sees one on top hut, lays it down. Yeah, does very well, but the rest of his teammates not faring so well at all. So Hooksy has to do a little bit more. He's got Hunter alongside him at least, but this is looking uncomfortable for G2, and it will be cleaned up for MIBR.
Felt a bit easy there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a full door rush, because Hooksy seemed to have been so far ahead of the second player, right? Like, so they couldn't really get space. Things happen a little bit too fast in that one.
Yeah, Hooksy
You
has
don't see the door rush as much. Like, that was, you know, Astralis, that was one of their staples during their Nuke run. Just changing up the pace with that rush.
Well, AWP out for Monacy now. Still plenty of cash was available for another G2 buy here, so there shouldn't be too many qualms in that. But now I expect us to see a bit more regular programming, right? You can see first timeout taken from G2.
I think that was just Hooksy best spawn with a MAC-10 and was like, set me in, setting myself in, boys. Maybe next time,
It was cool to hear.
do a Van dive, Hooksy.
It's cool to hear Nico talking about Hooksy the other day and just kind of putting some context to some of the criticism he receives. You know, a lot of people who don't really understand the game to a super high level we'll see him not getting high stats. We'll see him not getting a lot of kills, but he does play these ridiculously difficult positions to get anything done. And when you've got 4 players in this team that are all capable of taking down the world's best, well, I think he does a pretty decent job.
Can he play better individually? Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Does he need to for G2 to win tournaments?
No.
Probably not.
He did say that in the interview when he first
He
joined.
has to have a decent level, right?
Yeah.
The aggro setup outside from MIBR.
And it goes into the Red Sox. This is very aggressive, and Hunter's in the middle of fighting it. He's actually setting up Hooksy to go in for some kills here. And Hunter will help. So Hooksy, at the end of this game, should take himself on the lowest rated player of the tournament, a little higher up the leaderboard.
Calling that one early, aren't you, mate?
I believe in it.
All right, fair enough.
Because right beside him is 3 Evil Geniuses players.
Well, they play tomorrow against IHC in the first game of the day, and I think that could be a bit of a rough one.
For EG?
Well, who do you think, man?
Definitely.
IHC, the best team from Asia. You can't mess with them. Now, it is going to be a stack towards the lower side of things here. Check the radar top left.
DG's team is not even the best in their org, so.
Damn, they just copped it from everybody right there during that last segment, right?
Here it's just about, you know, G2 anticipating a stack, and now they're sending... JKS is a scout here, so if he has contact, they would go ramp, most likely. And Hooks is doing the same. Like, Nuke is a little bit different than other maps because of the top-down structure, but Hooks, sees someone here, JKS won't, they'll just go out take. But something that's interesting to me here is, you see the thought process for MIBR. They stop an A rush, so they can, okay, they're gonna play default, so let's go 3 outside. That's a good call.
It is
right?
a good call, yeah.
And that's why double calling exists in Counter-Strike on T-side. That's something we utilized a lot with a good amount of success in FaZe. Is like, okay, they just stopped you heavy, what are they gonna do? So imagine if they did a door rush again.
It would have been very open.
It would have been like
free.
probably a very, very good post-plan situation for G2. You feel like a 3v4 worst case, you know? So that's an interesting dynamic that you have with something. I know Nexa likes a little bit of a double call himself in that sort of a situation. And it also shows you that even though you're playing against the setup yard, if you're strong in your default, and I mean, Hooksy got a bit of a wild kill there while running, you know, that's a strong opening, but still, if you cover your bases, you could see they sniffed it out, the aggressive play. There were the HEs coming in, right? Like Hunter really being careful on top of Silo, and the round just pretty much done and dusted at the very start.
Now, this is one of these interesting scenarios here, right? Where you do have 2 saved rifles, but you have 2,400 loss bonus into the next. So Insani could get himself like a Famus, right? Breno could drop something across as well, and they could try and scrap something together here. But in this scenario, you got 2 choices. You could go for the all-in and have a suboptimal buy and try and defend against a full purchase, or try and use these 2 rifles, get yourself a couple more picks and see what you can find, right? So sure, it doesn't look like the meatiest, but it comes down to how they set up Henny. Oh, never mind.
Oh, here we go. Hunter just running in. The rest of his team coming with him. And a quick call from G2. They're not really going to meet too much resistance at all.
It's one way to avoid the rifles.
The round. Yeah. Just run in.
Hope that they gamble incorrectly, and that's what's going on here. So they know where Henny is. They might want to...
Oh, come on.
That's the reverse JKS.
That is just ridiculous.
All right. Well, that's a bit nasty there. A bit nasty indeed. And Monacy's having a great time as well. Look at this. The smiles are back on the dials.
It's great to see. I think actually losing a game, you guys can add to this, of course. But
losing sucks, Dinko.
Yeah, of course it does. But you got to learn how to do it, right? And G2 have been, they're used to losing, of course, last year. But this huge streak, you know, you've only really seen wins over the last few months, especially coming into this year or so. Do you think taking a loss to Cloud9 early in the tournament is actually beneficial?
I think so. Also, the whole streak nonsense gets out of the conversation, and they were bound to lose at some point, so this is the best time. Another aggressive play.
Yeah, real quick. This time, Henny trying to put a stop to it. They've got better weapons, but Hooksy has come out swinging. He's got Hunter, who's always alongside him for these fights, but Exit really needs to hold here for MIBR. You're suddenly up a player. MIBR in the better position for the time being, but Nico starts to hunt them down, and Monacy's alongside them, so... This is all down to the AWP now, and Monacy's hit the flick. Just one more player left. It's Henny. Up in heaven, Monacy goes for the more dangerous plant position. He reads a main play, but Henny's tracking him, and Henny has the kill.
Oh, I had to just hold my breath there for a second. Henny's missed a couple in recent times that he should be hitting.
Definitely
there.
has.
So that one there, I just was for a moment, I thought maybe, just maybe, but that's a great close from Henny there.
I don't know if Petsa is watching this game right now. I guess he is. I don't know if he's in the player lounge. Like, I want to ask him, is his team in a rush to like catch a bus or something?
A bus? Well, in Malta, mate?
I don't know, man. Like, because this pace is like they're just rushing every round. Like, what's the rush?
I took a bus in Malta once, Chad. I actually think walking was faster.
Yeah, that's why the traffic can get a little bit crazy.
It's an expression.
Well, if you said they were trying to catch a flight, I would have been.
Then I understand. There's multiple buses though.
Yeah, there's no trains here.
Yeah.
I don't think there's trains here.
A ship.
Yeah, that's possible too. That's a top rush again. Come on, boys, come on now.
Here we go. I love it. Hunter out again. It's top rush.
They missed the main
simulator. Here he goes. Hunter in. Hooksy's even killed his teammate, but he's made up for it quite quickly. Insani tried to do his best, but MIBR just aren't handling the pace right now.
And they're going to have to save again here. So the bomb should be going down momentarily. What, you think they give this one a crack?
They look like they want to... Yes, exactly.
Put the rod in the water.
Well, I think with that Molotov and no one really pushing in anymore.
Think that's a good term? Gone fishing? Go fishing?
Yeah. It's a great term.
Might bring that one in.
You should. Yeah, they have to save. how demoralizing is this for MIBR right now?
very
Like you're
much
sitting there and you're like, and you can't even blame the upper guys. Like you need to understand, you can't. It's very hard to hold this rush with 2 guys. But one protocol that you should always do, I feel like the way you stop a hot rush is 2 HEs. You throw 2 HEs in there, that's it. And that's something G2 does, I think. Like that's their opening almost every single round on A, and you can't rush hot with that because you probably will just die from the nades, but at least you'll get so slowed down where, you know, it ruins the timings for the flashes coming over, and then it's not as strong, right? So
essentially, you need a utility set to stop them bullying you at the beginning of the round.
well, yeah, and you need probably an extra person there. That's the problem. Like, you know, MIBR is doing the correct thing. MIBR is doing the correct thing. They're you know, expecting G2 to do something different than Rush A, but G2 is just keeps doing the same thing.
Do they do it again?
Well, right now, this is when MIBR are in that like washing machine, right? It's really difficult for them to get out of this. If you win one and then go back to losing one again at 2400, it's not a good spot to be.
I think you were here, Chad. We were talking about this, right? Or I was talking about this in the last G2 game. It's like, what's the fastest way to lose a round on Nuke as CT?
The top rush.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, if you have to pick something, right? Like, play for that early. And if they're doing, you know, what ruins you if they go like a secret rush with the fast smokes, you know, and you're out of position if they go down. But still, you can rotate the ramp player. You can, you know, the Heaven guy can go down there as well. Like, you can figure it out. So
you're turtling up a bit more, right?
So I would say, like, after the first 2 times they've done it, I would probably switch to let's just play heavy A all the time, and then we'll adjust in the mid round, you know? Now it's too late, probably, right? It seems like it's going to be 7 for G2.
Oh, they just threw the stack nades to the top of the site silo here. Didn't do a whole lot. This aggressive hut maneuver from Henny, though. This could find some action.
Well, he realizes he has to make that AWP sing because it's really one of the only pieces they have to play with, and it's worked out. They've taken JKS out of the equation early.
Yeah, tra-la-la-la-la.
Breno, his turn. Oh, very snappy. The 2 weapons that MIBR have to play with. Well, they've come to play. 3 players down for G2. And 2 versus 5 on their hands.
So much for G2's 7th round.
Still a chance, Yanko. I'm going to say it. Minute 10 seconds.
No. If it was JKS and Hunter, I would actually give them like a 60% chance to win a 2v5. But
the Monacy Hooksy combo not really doing it for you?
Yeah, I don't think they've, you know, I don't know if they were in this situation once. Oof. No, but JKS and Hunter have won so many rounds in Katowice, 2vx. It was actually insane.
I think there's a chance for Hooksy to get towards lower. There's already 1 player down. I think it's over towards Decon on Insani with this Deagle in hand here. So Hooksy can creep on in towards the site. He has a smoke available for the door. Monacy coming down secret as well here. 35 seconds.
This is bad from MIBR. In a 5v2, you're letting go of all of secret and all of ramp.
It's now a post plan.
Monacy's coming down secret. He's got himself a real chance here because Hooksy isn't really being pressured.
The timing on this is everything for Monacy.
Oh, spots 1, flick out to the left. Now ready for a second. Monacy starting to pull it back. And once again, that 7th round for G2 is once more on the table.
1 bullet.
And Monacy has to reload, but he's smart to keep the information flow coming. He jiggles into it. Turtle goes down.
Do this alone?
And Monacy's just killing everyone. Hooksy steps up. The rifle sends it home. And just like that, G2 have the round.
Okay, yeah, that's what you like to see. It wasn't Hunter. It wasn't JKS. It was the little pocket rocket on the AWP right there. And that one, it was all down to that timing, right? He could have got caught off in so many different awkward ways with that first vent fight. But as soon as he gets the first, they just keep coming.
Don't go there, Chad. It wasn't timing. It was bad positioning in a 5v2. Why are you giving them so much space? Why are you letting them plant the bomb and you have no info where they are in a 5v2? How are you doing this? Send the USP there just to shoulder pick, just to get you some... Let him run up secret. Let him do something. Like, 5v2, it's better to be in a 3v2 with all the info than in a 5v2 with no info. Like, if you have 3 guys with no armor and USPs.
You'd be thinking G2 was losing if you heard Yanko going off like this.
No, this is giving me PTSD, like, to somehow... Because you are... Like, information is more important almost than numbers advantage.
Especially in that scenario.
It's very situational, right? But you can't have this false sense of security because you have the numbers. You can't give them all control, like...
How many gun runs have they had defuse kits? I need to ask myself that as well. Like, I know the cache isn't there, right?
Especially when they're letting them plant.
For most of the gun rounds, it feels like there's no point. They just lose the round pretty much as soon as it gets going.
All right, Hooksy, full 30 into that.
And of course, they won the 7th round.
Here they go, splitting into the site again. Nico and Hunter combined, and that's the site hole gone.
Well, this is it. This is what we expected, right? You come in here, we said after map 1, Vertigo was necessary for MIBR if this wanted to be a 3-map affair to get us to Ancient. Right, G2, you were talking about the fact that they had this loss. It's probably good for them, but you're seeing them play a little bit lighter today. Everyone's hitting their shots, and they're also up against a team that they are the heavy favorites against, right? 15 in a row on Nuke. You can just keep painting the picture, and we're seeing it unfold right here. It's exactly, maybe not in terms of how crazy the game started. We did have a couple of weird ones for this game to start, right? But other than that, G2, they've been stubborn with the plays that they're going for, but now that you're in the back half of the half, you can just go into standard defaults, the smoke walls like we just saw. You can exploit everything now.
Well, now you've probably frustrated them so much that, yes, you know, the frags are going to come to you a good amount. Like, this is also why they don't have an op. You're chasing with an op, you're giving it to them potentially. They didn't pick it up in the end, but
so
this
it's
is just
looking quite cocky,
they're oozing confidence right now.
Well, Modesty still has 13k, right? So he can buy, but you bang on. If that got picked up, there wouldn't have been an AWP available for the CTs here, but if they'd scooped it up, then it gets a couple kills, right? You can see connecting the dots. This is actually going to be a second time out right now for the Brazilian side of things, so Bit gets an opportunity to chip on in.
And, you know, this is an interesting one, Chad. So, like, obviously they're winning. You know, they're the better team on this map. You have the streak. You have a lot of money in the bank, but you shouldn't chase there with the op,
No,
right?
you're right.
So...
You think Swanee says something?
No, probably not now. Probably like in the VOD review or something you would say. Because it's like, I don't like this from... You can tell the teams when they're the best in the world, like they don't lose that edge even when they're winning. You know, like you have to play...
Every percentage.
Every percentage all the time, right? Like it's different than going for a knife if you have an AK. Okay, that's fine. Like that's you having fun. But here you like have to stay away from the bad habits, right? And you have to keep the good habits going at all times, right? You can't have that fall into that lull of, oh yeah, we're so good, we can do whatever we want. You can't. Like as soon as you start thinking that, you're gonna lose to Cloud9.
Shiro and Axel have been looking beast.
Shiro's been mad.
Shiro is just kind of
the amount of kills he got through the smoke on B on Inferno City side was just like...
And through the walls too.
I thought there was some monitors and tables gonna be punned.
Well, the L block smokes. Nico's across here. Actually has a tail with him as well.
Oh, here we go. We're about to see this again.
At least he doesn't have a deagle.
True.
Well, they have secret space and the heaven control here. So this is why they likely just park themselves in secret stairs while Nico gets
space. It feels
space.
like G2 has 7 players and MIBR has 3, with how much space they're getting in these rounds.
That's fair.
They're just walking everywhere they want right now.
But they've totaled up in towards A because of those rushes, right? They've totaled up across the map here. So they've been conditioned
playing
into this.
really scared.
3 players are down inside. Okay, now they're clearing.
Now they're pushing towards Hut. Here comes a pack of 3 players, but Nico's already heaven.
A's open and they're still going B.
The B is open and A is open. that's G2's problem right now.
Well, Brenner's come down to see what he can do, and here comes the play through ramp.
JKS is dead here.
No, he's going to turn at the exact
I feel like
right
he's
moment.
got a good position for at least one here. And he does! Felt that one coming, Chad. Predicted that one. That's incredible.
All right, he'll take that one. 3-on-3 though. Oh. Not for long. Short-lived.
The rounds look competitive for a moment, but G2 just find the edge every time. Like, that's just BS right
They
now.
had a kit this time.
Sure.
Improvement.
We're looking on the bright side.
Yep. If they got into a position where they needed to use it, they would have it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Oh, okay, 9-3. It's a 9-6 half in favor of G2 is still possible for MIBR to salvage.
Yes, absolutely, Chad. There's a chance.
There's always a chance.
You don't want to be too harsh, right? So Insani is down, he's playing shoulder peeking, he smokes once he sees someone and has contact. They leave the whole of yard open, and there's no one even shoulder peeking from heaven. But that's fine, you know, you want to push lobby, but they needed to do that like 7-8 seconds earlier, right? Like sometimes it's all about timing. It's not whether the call is, Exit dies with the kit as well. It's not whether the call is bad or not, it's like the timing of the call. If they did that 7 or 8 seconds earlier, maybe they get a kill on someone in lobby, maybe they get information and they can help on B, maybe they can make a play in secret. I mean, that's also a sick shot from the boost. Insani isn't really ready for that, so it's all these details, right? Like all these things, that's what they all add up, and that's why G2 is having a field day.
I think we might get more of a fight out of them here, right? They can max loss bonus into the next, so they can all chip in here with something a little bit more exciting. Look for some fights, boys. Look for something. They have to keep turtling up towards this A site, though. You can just see all those little X-rays. They're so worried about the top rushes. This is what the early conditioning from G2 has left them with, and that none of the responses, which Yanko's right. They haven't really had responses. Their responses have been passive. Nothing's netted. They're too far down the river right now. No paddle.
If you're in Hooksy's seat right now, how much you love in this game? Calling.
Yeah, well, the fact that you were able to be stubborn and do those top rushes, there's that shadow. Like, you shouldn't get away with that. The fact that he did, it's kind of just opened up the half for him.
He didn't check it all the way.
Well, Insani knows there's a player above him, but can't really do too much about that.
Insani can't do anything right now. If he swings out, he's dead.
Maybe Turtle could be the player to get something done here, but he hasn't really been having the best of games. 3 and 11. He's pushed up in the hut with the MP9. That's the fight. That's Breno winning it. Hooksy drops the bomb. Now Monacy has to come back. That may alleviate some pressure here for Insani. And finally the drop down from Nico comes in. And Insani gets something done with the Deagle. Monacy starts to worry now. And JKS comes down the ladder and wins the fight against Turtle. JKS is just winning some ridiculous jewels right now. And once again, G2 have pulled it back.
Oh, no way.
Inside of the smoke, Monacy just goes in. Daylight robbery, grabs the bomb, runs away, and somehow he's getting back behind some cover, and Breno hits the shot. Hunter from heaven taps, and unfortunately unable to pick it up.
The only weakness in that entire situation, and I was going to mention it, but I didn't, was Hooksy standing up top secret with the bomb. Right, and he was in a pretty passive position, right? It wasn't like he was committed or anything, but as soon as that gets dropped, the whole round falls apart. The fact that JKS gets anything back, especially on the ladder, that's very lucky, I would say. So this round should have been an even bigger win for MIBR. Fortunate, very fortunate. That's the Henry G. Was that the Henry G line?
That was Alex.
Alex Machine Richardson. Okay, well, that 9-6, if they can get this one, a possibility now. G2 won't be completely out of cash money, but they will be towards the bottom on a couple of players like Monacy, for example. Hunter's going to be just able to get out of Galil. And this is one of the first type of rounds where MIBR feel like they get to play a bit more standard, I would imagine.
They still had a strong A opening, right? Like, again, that's the conditioning you pointed out. So now G2 playing a slower default. Wall of Smokes is going to come out now. And we'll see, their reaction can't be push lobby, because that's what G2 wants. This is what G2 is doing. Now they're denying them vision to bait that reaction. They're waiting for it to punish them.
It's just Breno at ramp here. Had a good round last round, needs some more impact now. Silence them full, that might be his biggest issue.
I don't know if he's getting away with much here, but he at least gets one, lines up, gets a second, he sticks around. Huge. Wow, that's incredible from Breno. Absolutely should have just got one and fell away or get traded, but he steps up with 3.
I think that's him going, hey, if they get in towards the lower side, maybe I don't have a whole lot of trust in my teammates getting this round done.
Yeah. Well, here goes Nico. Trying to pull this one back. Tap is good on the first, but just Monacy. When I say just Monacy, he has pulled off a ridiculous comeback into a round already in this half, but with 18 seconds left and now being taken down low. It's a 5th round for MIBR, and like Yanko said, a 9-6 half is now possible.
Monacy doesn't have X-ray on, right?
I think we turned it on for him because he's under 18. So if you're under 18,
it's like stabilizers, right? When you're riding a bike.
Like he's so aware, he's so ready. It's great. That was a great round by Breno.
95% of ramp holders, as you pointed out, Dinko, would get that first and full. The fact that he stuck around for 3, that's yeah.
But at this point, it's like.
But like the 3rd kill, you think he's out of ammo to really make something of it, right? But he still is so composed that he gets the headshot.
Well, looks like MIBR want to secure this 6th round going into the halftime break. BIT has called their 3rd timeout, so they have 1 to work with on their T side here.
To be honest, I think this is a bit of a mistake. It's like the last round, you know. Yeah. You need a lot of rounds on T side. You know, if the game gets close somehow, you could probably use that towards the tail end of the game, but
I guess he's valuing the 6 rounds in total, right? See if they can get that. It's going to be heartbreaking if they don't.
Just the visually, Chad, you know, if it's 9-6 and they win the pistol, then it's 9-9, and all of a sudden it's, you know,
it's back on.
It looks way better than 10-8.
It's back on. Well, they have managed to juggle a MAC-10, sorry, into the hands of Hooksy. Honestly, into a Galil, the rest with AKs. Smoke wall a little bit faster this time. Ahead of it will be Insani, and getting spammed on down. Turtle just chipped away at ever so slightly. Yeah, you know what Hooksy wants to do, don't you?
I think we finish it with a top hut. That's just the way to do it. After this first half, let's just go quick into this top site. Here comes the utility. Henny blinded, has to come off the angle, and here he goes. Hooksy with the MAC-10. just gets one. Hunter steps up and allows the second kill for G2. MIBR doing a good job of keeping it even, but finally Nico has arrived and they've got the site.
That was the kill. If Nico doesn't get that, round probably doesn't go their way here.
He's still here on the side, and he will, in fact, make that Galil sing. Just Henny, last round of the half, has to go for something. But it's not very likely to see him even get into a position where he gets away with one kill here. The post plant setup is good. They've got a read of where Henny will likely come from. Just mere moments away from G2 closing this one. Nice shot down from Henny. That's Nico gone first. Hunter quickly repositioning up to heaven to assist m0NESY, who's at CT vent. And he starts to think about it, goes for the wall bang, and the swing comes out. m0NESY closes, and G2 with 10 rounds heading into the second.
Wave, I just float through. Drawing up the plays like a coach do. Come against the team, better pray like the Pope do. Cause we'll turn your little beef into tofu. We tryna rise to the top. Real recognize you ain't squad, you the op. Drip on wall pay, feeling like the greats. Appetite jumping and you looking like a plate. Team on 3, no fail when we break. Lombardi is the only L's that we take. Tap the pylon, then we all celebrate. Then it's back to the huddle, time to cook another play. Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I should run the play like we supposed to. Gotta win it all like we supposed to. Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I just run the play like we supposed to. Gotta win it all like we supposed to. Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I just run the play like we supposed to. Gotta win it all like we supposed to. Close, I whittled them down, stick it to them by sticking around. The gang online, Iwo Jima got one flag and it's sticking the ground, setting up shop. Think I got the message across. Came for the titles, impressive to watch. We play at the levels of Letterman jocks. Pins on the jacket, the man's abundant. The point of the road was being and rugged. Hushing, I'm planning on pants in London. The products are not being scared of some judgment. Gotta stay in the cut you off if you ain't making the cut. Couldn't tell you who the hell is behind us. You start to forget when you stay in the front of it's up. And it's up for grabs, no remorse of who I'm taking it from. Numbers I give on my scoreboard is the only form of us staying in touch, that's staying enough. It's time to receive for all of the favors I've done. Too late for y'all to switch teams, everybody getting big leagues. Product flying out the shelf, what's in store for us? Known to hit a hole in one, look at the crowd and shoulder shrug. Shots are limited, I'm scared mango with the golden gun. Posted up, ready for whatever, boy, you know what's up. Time's close, I whittled them down, stick it to them by sticking around. The gang online, Iwo Jima got one flag and it's sticking the ground, setting up shop. Think I got the message across, came for the title.
The first half is a story of G2 dominance, at least in the first portion, but MIBR find a few extra rounds towards the end to secure 5, but a long road ahead of them as they now switch to the attacking side of Nuke.
Both teams had a couple of oopsie daisies, right? The pistol round where Insani picked up that molly and was able to clutch that one out in what felt like a done and dusted round. Then the follow-up on the one, well, the whole timing with Nico and Breno over towards heaven and hell. But yeah, G2 were definitely more dominant here. I think Hooksy and m0NESY winning that 5-on-2 situation definitely says a lot.
Well, let's see if my theory of JKS's pistol prowess is going to pan out here. 7 and 8, we'll see how much that increases by as we head into the second half. Pistol, already some ground taken here from Breno. He's wrapping through the smoke at Manny. About to pop through, the rest of his teammates coming in as well, and Hooksy looking to try and handle the pressure, gets at least one and goes down. Elsewhere, m0NESY picks up one, but it's all about MIBR's kills coming through. They're dominating right now as they head into the player count advantage. JKS strikes back though. Finally, he started to enter this pistol with a headshot on exit. Let's see how much more he can get. They're coming towards him. Oh. JKS starting to run away. They're coming back at him.
How's he alive?
And he must be calling to Nico, please help me right now. 2 HP, and Nico's going down the vent.
But the bomb was still towards top here, so...
They've got to go get it.
Yeah, JKS wouldn't have seen the bomb on the radar either in either of those fights. So at this point...
Nico has to go back up the ladder.
Yeah, and I don't know if he'll be expecting them to be coming around from main. Now, the bomb is in such an awkward situation here.
That's a weird drop spot. All right, let's see how MIBR approach this one, because they don't know that Nico's in the vent, obviously.
They don't know that he doesn't know.
That's the main thing, right?
But the retake for him is going to be hard. Like, if they plant in towards A, oh, sound cue. He knows now. He knows now.
Let's see how he decides to play this one. He gives up the vent right away. He's not checking behind him, but they have no idea. And he's got himself a chance, but just at the last second, Henny protects his teammate.
That is both pistol rounds in this map so far for MIBR. Insani having some impact in both of them here. That was between Henny and Insani to pick that one up. So a good conversion. And, well, likely another G2 force buy back in here.
Nico in disbelief.
So awkward, isn't it?
Some of these rounds have just been absolutely ridiculous.
I do like the decision to just chase down JKS, though, knowing you had that fight potentially isolated. They didn't worry about the bomb. You can go back and get the ball. Yeah, Nico can't believe what just happened.
Well, Exit just sprinting out. Hello. He's going to just grab Hunter. Second kill in. This time from Breno, and the top sight hit just works out perfectly.
I don't know what happened there.
I'm not sure why Hunter wasn't looking at HUD.
At all, right? I know there's probably a lot of comms in that moment. You hear a lot of utility, but like to not even consider it, that round is already over.
Asleep at the wheel, Chad.
Yeah, you don't want to be like that, mate. I don't want to get laid out here. But that's all 5 staying alive here, and 3 saves right now, a Scout, a Deagle, and an MP9 to carry forward.
What a game this would be to have Yanko alongside us if G2 threw this all away.
It would be insane if this was the matchup that they would lose their streak on, and that they would lose from a 10-5
all the streaks are just gone here, probably.
I appreciate you guys trying to build this up, but it's not happening.
So
just like they weren't going to get 9-6 at the half, right? They didn't?
Well, he called the last series 16, so last map 16-8, and he was right. You can't question the prophet.
Yeah,
he is.
Wrong, he is actually the prophet right now.
Wait till he's wrong, and then we can really start questioning him in here.
All right, a pretty good track record last couple of tournaments I worked at.
Yeah, the Outsiders.
He even had the Outsider. Yeah, that was the main one.
Someone had to call it. Happened to be Yanko.
Ah, okay. Thank you, Chad. So I just played the percentages, did I?
Well, at least you don't do it Anders and you say the most ridiculous thing possible, like MIBR are going to win the next major.
It's actually uncanny how many times he was correct. Like over the years, right? Like the Astralis thing, when they were absolute...
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely awesome now.
Absolutely questionable. And then turned out to be the winners of the League Atlanta major.
Yeah, but at least that team were kind of like in semifinals.
No one thought they were going to like win, but yeah, that's
someone has to
for
win.
you.
10-7.
I'm not certain G2 are going to have too many opportunities here either. Sure, JKS on that MP9, a Scout for m0NESY, great.
Are they going to just rush again?
Why not?
Here comes Exit. And JKS reads this exact play, and he's gone and got himself. Okay, with the MP9.
Give him the ace.
Oh, that's perfect. Henny now stuck in, and JKS has got it. All 5.
Oh, dearie me. Okay, well, Justin only smiles when he gets aces.
That's the rule.
So there you go. Look, he's having a great time. Look at him.
Oh, Chad's like a proud dad right now. I wish you guys could see him.
I just like to see him happy. He was never happy when we used to play together, so it's nice.
Did he get many aces back then, Chad?
Yeah, he was the only one getting any kills, mate.
Every time they won a round.
That was quite the round from Lil Juzzy Bear here. The first, the second, followed, of course, by the third,
and then the fourth, and
but
then the
fifth.
The wall bang.
He did plead the fifth at.
Yeah, MIBR trying to take a page out of G2's book, but
There
a little bit
goes.
too predictable.
Didn't bring their reading glasses.
Ooh. How do you call this spot, Chad?
Did you
You
just
asked
get
me
an in for
this the
this?
other day.
Yeah, you guys had did you agree on orange?
Well, I don't know.
Orange?
What do you call it, Dinko?
Well, unfortunately, I think I just call this secret, but
Yeah, exactly. It needs a name. It could be Shelf.
rat corner.
Oh, we can start. Rat's starting to
The
appear and
secret
everything
rat.
here. Well, they got a re-aggress on outside. Monacy with the AWP starting to appear. Hunter on the cusp of the smoke. The reposition back in towards lobby as Insani's been holding on, entrenched here. They just have one flash and a Molotov to work with against 4 G2 members who still have a very good hold and understanding of the scenario. Monacy has dipped into more of a passive stance. JKS still at ramp. Hooksy and Hunter over towards A here. So battening down the hatches to close this one down and get the 12th.
The lack of nades makes this really difficult. Going backyard is probably one of the better calls and just trying to, hope you have some good timing.
That would have been heard, so they know that Hunter's around Hut. This could be a freebie for Insani. Yeah, he was on the jiggles, didn't see him.
They know the Hooksy is what?
Guys!
Okay, Hooksy didn't even seem ready for that at all. Insani with another one. And now suddenly MIBR once again with a shot at winning this round. Monacy and JKS alive, though. That's a twosome that I feel like could win this round.
JKS is the one with the flash, and he's going to be coming from lobby here, so I don't know how he sets this up. If he's coming from main, he could flash towards the back of the site. Well, possible if he comes through Squeaky here, but so many options available. They do both have kits.
JKS starts to come out of Squeaky. Eventually, they've got to activate this flash
Of course.
being set up, but Exit just peeks, and as soon as he does,
Lordy.
it's an instant kill to come through, and MIBR pick it up.
I think G2 might need a technical timeout to sort out Hunter and Hoxie's headsets on that A site.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It was very strange. I mean, even, okay, miscommunication, maybe timing for Hunter, but then Hooksy, like, you'd imagine Hunter's yelling out, they're close, right? Like,
Yeah.
he seemed caught
Where else could he have died
by
from?
how quickly they're coming silo and coming to the site.
Because Insani did hear Hunter fall off the box, so he had a good idea
Yeah.
that he was in that area, right? It was fortunate that he caught him still behind Tetris, but that one's a bit of a stinker.
Also, what's Hooksy holding if Hunter's... What,
Well,
I don't know. It
Hooksy
was
jiggled,
just
but he didn't jiggle wide enough to see the squeaky push.
yeah.
So,
Still the op on Monacy, so maybe he can make something happen in this round. Same setup on yard from them, it feels like.
honestly, a bit more aggressive here. So they want to take back the space. I think Nico might creep up red. So if they don't find Breno, then they're going to have a very good idea that it should either be a top or a ramp left course. Oh, they're going to leave Monacy here, so keep the rifle. Ooh.
Here he goes. Monacy has a bit of a gap and knows that he has to get aggressive, and he will come out on top of that fight. An opening kill for G2 to play with.
Going ramp here with the bomb Insani quite fast on his own at the moment.
Here goes JKS. Look at this position. Surely he's going to get away with at least one, but Insani
shot.
has just hit an absolutely ridiculous shot. Monacy is also being burnt out of position single-handedly by Insani.
But look at the rotation. Right now, Hunter and Nico are ahead of this.
And we'll see the M4 of Nico is definitely the prime weapon in this position. Hunter may be able to assist though, but that smoke, Nico's going to use it. Oh! He's whiffed a few.
Hunter's locked. He has to stand.
Oh, he's trying to find the only safe gap where there isn't fire, and he's managed to get into that corner, and the bomb plan nearly denied, but Monacy, he's the player that really has to win this one. He has no idea what's happening. Turtle comes up, just takes him away. And another round that looked good for G2, but all just fell away.
And now they're going to find themselves in eco territory. We're going to be at 10-11.
Yeah.
And MIBR starting to realize that now that they're back in this game. I'm sure throughout that first half, they probably felt like they were not in it at all. But coming into the second, now you've started to build something up. You're starting to get into this game. You start to believe you can maybe make something happen to this.
This should be a timeout for G2. You know, they need to take a breather. Nico seems to be
They look
having
really
a bit
frustrated.
of a bit of a nightmare of a tournament. Actually, you know, like I mean, that's a kill he gets. I don't know, 9 times out of 10, right? Like the shots that just don't seem to be connecting for him at the moment. He had a couple of close ones like that already, you know.
Yeah, at this stage, right, like that kill is probably the difference between the round or not, because they were ahead of that rotation and he had the rifle. If he gets that kill, then it might set Hunter up for a bit more damage.
To be honest, also the push as well is a little bit questionable, right? Like someone from MIBR should hold that. He had pre-aimed the right exit, right? So he can just spam that through the smoke.
Yeah.
That's a good enough bait as well. He'd probably get the kill on the low HP player. Of course, that's hindsight, but just to see how you can have impact, you know, like against a better team, someone's holding that until it pops and, you know, for someone to push through.
These nades are destined for Breno here.
Oh, good night, Breno. Boa noite.
Keota.
Well, now that they know that there were 4 players there, they can try and take some space elsewhere on the map here. Turtle's done exactly that. All this ramp control has been taken, signaling that with a bottle of flames of his own. Outside, they want to grab this gun, and they will. So Nico has a chance to redeem it. Hey, hey, hey!
That would be a redemption round.
Well, something would be really off if he did give the AK away.
Oh, nice boost.
If they go B, I'm honestly screwed here.
Yeah, he's about to maybe get a dink at most. In the meantime, Turtle has gone up heaven. Nico is coming down the vent.
Oh, they're coming back here towards the A side as well.
Yeah, with
No
that
one
move,
is watching heaven.
from that move of Turtle, that nade's going to send. Oh, surely hooks it to the grave, but he gets away from it.
But Nico's out of position with the AK.
And there's a problem. Henny now coming in from heaven. Turtle with him.
17 flashes.
All the flashes. G2 doing a good job of just staying alive and prolonging this one, but eventually the kills will start to come in. And Turtle, the player to pick them up. 2 locked in on Hunter and JKS. Ball goes down. Wouldn't mind having an AK for Nico in the next round, but they're going to go in and try this, and they're all going to lose their lives.
Okay, well, good opening to find the AK, sure. The nades were great. You don't too often see the nade stacks working on an eco round in that fashion, so they get that, but that's really it. The loss bonus, I think it was at the 2,900 coming into that one, so they can get out what should be the closest thing to a full buy we've seen in a few rounds here. JKS will go for the kit instead of flashes or a HE. But they're going to have to hold on by the seat of their pants here, because down the home stretch, this can still get rocky for G2.
They should have tried to go for exits and do more economic damage in that previous round, but they need just some rounds.
Just some solid rounds here, yeah. Because bang on, they've won 1 so far on their CT side, and that's traditionally where you'd expect G2 to do a lot of their hard work, right? That's where it becomes a bit more individual. They need to multi-kill more. The decision-making in the fray needs to be a little bit more on point, but here's Monacy's aggression again. He's been having a good map, at least 18 in total.
We did see him get away with some of this aggression earlier in the game, so here he goes again. Nico has the perfect nade lined up. Should sink some real damage here. Sends it in. Monacy's under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of players coming his way, but he'll quickly get out of there after 1. Now bullets start to rattle him. But Monacy does not fall. And Nico assists, gets 1 more, sets Monacy up for a chance. He goes on the 3K. He's just hanging around, picking a different angle each time as he dances around the red box. The bomb's down here for MIBR. But Insani elsewhere is making some moves. So JKS has fallen. Maybe if Exit can just pump the brakes on this one, but Hooksy's just come around the back. And Exit wasn't looking the right way.
Yeah, Insani had to chase down JKS for a one-on-one duel there, and then Hooksy, understanding the situation, knew that he could isolate that solo player of Exit outside. That's where he was a bit more cavalier about the push, and now Insani left in a 1-on-3 with 25 seconds. Let's see how many more he can find. They're both near the bomb here, Yanko.
Surely they can't drop this one. Insani drops down, shot whizzes past him. Insani's getting closer, ever closer to potentially winning this round. Monacy's down.
To win, it's fine. While Hunter is alive, he understands the time. There's no time for Insani to pick up the bomb and plant and kill Hunter.
Yeah, he ran away.
Or so,
but that is going to hurt a lot, Yanko, even with the round win. Like, the economy's in the trash right now for G2.
It is, and you know, Hooksy got caught jumping. Maybe he would have just rushed over to his teammates, right? Like that would have been the better call. And it's these little things that bother me, you know, about G2. That's all a little bit, just that little bit of extra fun. Nico's not having any fun, I can tell you that.
This is the round that they're about to play here, where this will be a G2 timeout. Only their second, surprisingly, considering how shaky it's been. But Swanee knows, with the money where it is right now, they need to pull something out of their ass. This can't just be like, let's go into a round with some Famouses, some MP9s. Like, they need to have something a little bit special here.
Here's the thing also, if you're MIBR, right? Like, what didn't work for you? these slower defaults
true.
because they're getting into position outside and they're destroying you before you can get the default going. So what's the alternative to that? It's faster smokes outside and getting faster secret control. It's just doing a fake with the smokes and then exploding ramp or an A rush. So we'll see if MIBR is stubborn like G2 was and they repeat the call again, or they decide to switch it up.
Well, they're sending Breno solo towards outside here with
Faster
a bit more
smoke.
pace. Nade down the back pocket. Where's the third piece of this puzzle to help Breno out here? Landing quite late,
yeah.
so Breno should still get across without too many qualms. They've doubled ramp, which means Nico is going to have to drop back and be the heaven anchor, which means main's a little bit more susceptible for Hunter and Hooksy as well as this round plays out. You can see the double setup from m0NESY and JKS. That boost with the MP9 making a whole lot of sense. But this is for only the third CT round for G2 if they can pull this one off, and it would be quite the heist. See, the Famous is in the mix. A little bit. Blah.
Insani is about to be offered up to Hunter soon, I think. Gets the info, doesn't go down on the initial fight, and Hunter goes back into it. Nico goes down 2, and G2 have just offered up 2 lives very quickly. Now Hooksy is under a lot of pressure, and m0NESY's with him. A good kill again from Insani. Hooksy cleared out from the site, and that's the round.
But they're saving trash. Like, this is the problem. No, but they are. They're,
Yeah,
they're
They're
saving
leaving
trash.
the scene with bags full of rubbish. There we go.
Like, I understand that they had lower weaponry in that scenario and they couldn't really dictate the way that the round was going to play. Well, no, they could have dictated the way the round was going to play out. They could have tried something a little bit more creative in how they were playing across the map there. So
They're fine. Their communication is just off. Like, you know, Hunter is calling someone is indoor, but probably not relaying to Nico how close the guy is. So Nico just wants to smoke for him, but they're just running as soon as they had contact out. So while he's going back to his rifle, Nico gets peeked. You know, Hunter dies as well. And this is also, you know, Nico is making the correct play in a sense of he doesn't want to use his smoke until something happens on the map, right? You're thinking they're going to throw some utility A, they're going to come A, they want to fake it, they'll throw some utility, so you want to use your smoke once they throw something. But the MIBR just goes for a contact play and they get so close that it's already too late by the time he releases it.
and now G2 are going to have to take what should be a very light investment here for everybody who died that round. That means MIBR should be able to tie things up 12-12. Insani's having a great game, 22 kills for him.
Here's the thing, G2 is still fine. Like, they lose this round, it's 12-12, right? But it's frustrating rounds that they're losing, right? Like, kind of in a silly way almost that they're losing some of these rounds. So that's going to be the question mark, right? Like, can they stay mentally strong to close this game out?
Very light damage there from the Famous onto Breno. He will make it across C.
Oh.
All right, almost had to bite my tongue. JKS has been set up towards ramp again here, so trying the same trick again. Top pop, and the top site hasn't been great.
I've seen that weakness there, and
Double pump. Oh, even no ramp here.
they're
Okay.
going back ramp.
JKS hears
This is where JKS can maybe get something done, but they come around checking him. JKS still gets away with a double, and he's still standing. Nico's helped out. Hooksy's moved into the lobby, and how have they pulled this one off? Oh, that's ridiculous. You can't lose that, MIBR. That's awful.
But this is still a miserable CT side. JKS, the first round they got was an ace with the MP9, and then this one here was another just sloppy, you know.
Chad, when did you become such a hater, man? They just won a round and you're saying like this is still a terrible CT side for them.
Yeah, well, the type
Why
of rounds
can't you be
that
more
they're
like
losing.
Dinko and focus on the positives? And they just won an eco, basically. They're up 13-11.
I'm enjoying my time so much, I want it to go
You
to a
need to
third
look at the
map.
bright side of life.
I want to do some Ancient. I want to go to a third
Smell
map and
the
do
roses.
some Ancient, you know? Don't you want to do Ancient?
Chad's experienced much more life than me, so maybe it just kind of grinds you down, you know?
It
Eventually.
definitely does, Dinko. It definitely does.
Insani can't
Make
find
no
the vent.
mistake.
Insani's lost. He's on the ladder, and he's silently descending towards the B-bomb side. This is an ASMR round. Yeah, well, he's down the vent, so he wants to be very quiet, and so do we.
Go on, Yanko.
I'm not sure if Nico knows that he's down. It doesn't look like it. That Nico is down. No one's rotated B. Play-by-play and whispering might be an interesting challenge.
Here they come. Nico has got himself the first. He's traded by Henny. Hunter straight to the smoke. It's a massacre. The smokes are all fading away, and Hunter, he gets another one. Finally, Turtle and Insani putting something
They didn't
together.
know he was at the vent. They definitely
They didn't know he was in the vent.
No.
He was very quiet, you see, Chad.
And Turtle's coming down to join the fun here with Insani, so they'll have to isolate JKS, who is on the lower side. Hooksy currently on the upper deck here, and there's 47 seconds. So if they want to reposition, there's plenty of time to do so, and that's exactly what's going down. Now, Hooksy is in a power position. He could just burrow into the back of Squeaky. He doesn't need to actually over-peak in this scenario. They're going to have to play 1-1. He's fortunate here that they're both just above the 50 HP mark. I don't know about this.
No, not the peak you want to do over for Mass here. Smoke goes down at least, but they Molotov him. They force him back. He swings out, catches Turtle. Bomb is down, and Hooksy rolls out the guillotine.
All right.
Wasn't pretty, but he got it done. But that was big because MIBR is out of money now. They have to sort of concede match point to G2.
Oh, they can run this one home now. So
Yeah, I think it's the round where you just kind of lose the JKS and ramp and the pistols. That was your chance.
they're going to be kicking themselves, right? Because
Yeah,
they
you had
had
the comeback.
G2 right where they wanted them.
Yeah.
Well, that's also, you're probably, for that type of a round, I think you're overcomplicating it, right? So it's a fake outside with the fast smokes. You're repeating the opening, and then you're sort of faking the ending, but you're running from so far behind where JKS in that position gets the early Q. And their spacing was bad. The first guy is jumping over.
You see, he knows JKS is there, but
Yeah,
they
and
still
the
don't train
trade's
him.
not close enough. Yeah, there's more than a few problems in that situation.
Well, who knows? Maybe MIBR can win a round like
And this is the thing, like, don't underestimate like your advantage in freeze time. They had weaponry advantage in freeze time, no op in play. Just work hard a little bit more, you know. You have AKs versus a FAMAS, 1M4, some pistols. You could do that. You could do a lot of things, but this was just too much for them.
Yeah,
And now they're going to pay the price.
Yeah, this one's going to sting here. A P250 and Tech 9, 3 Glocks, a couple of smokes. They're doing the smoke wall now, but I think this one here might be all in vain.
I'm just wondering how many kills Nico gets in this round. Yeah, that's the most interesting thread to
He's
pull
going to
on.
get digged through the smoke, probably, the game
Oh, he
he's
saw
carrying.
that.
He knows they're there now.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I think it dinked, but still gets a kill.
Still seems aware of one more here. So they have Secret, they have Warehouse, they don't really have a hope. We'll call this 15 for G2, I'll call it now. I'll even go with Jason Moses to 100% that G2 are winning this round.
Nico knew he was in the corner. And the best you can hope for here, MIBR, is a bomb plant on the back of the Turtle.
There's no one from G2 down.
Turtle's trying to be a team player at least.
Yet.
Look, Turtle's going, I'll make some space for you, bro. Get the... Yep, there you go.
That's a bomb plant.
Oh, okay. That's great, going into what might very well likely be the final round of play here. That's some extra cash. That's about it.
I think one of the positives you can look at here for MIBR is Insani's playing really well. I'm just
Oh, yeah. Especially,
blown away by
he
his
had a rough
performances.
series yesterday, but they still got across the line.
G2 has a great streak on Nuke, but they should have lost a couple of nukes by now, most notably the 2 ones against FaZe, right? Like, those were some miraculous rounds that they managed to win to close those games out. And whatever happens here, they need to go back and watch this game with TeamSpeak on
Okay.
it. Because there's a lot of miscommunication or lack of communication, you know, for what's open, where can the opponents be. Even for like 2 guys holding the same site, you know, like they really need to clean that up.
Maybe their intensity's not here today, Yanka. Maybe you need to get out there and shake them.
I don't know. Could be.
Could be.
Slap him around a little bit, Chad.
Wow.
Get the do not peek bat.
Yeah, we'll see if Scoots has got that one handy. Okay, well, this right here, Nico's going to have all the info, right? You even hear them faffing around on the roof if his ears are ready and raring to go. But it looks like they're setting up some util towards the top side. This will be... Oh, okay, so smoke wall ready for yard. Nobody home towards back of sight right now. Hunter playing chill on the side. It's a yard fake into a top play.
But that's so hard when you didn't even check for the, like, Nico is here from the beginning.
Exactly.
Pretty
so
much.
the fake means nothing.
You
Just
know,
means
like,
nothing.
It's not like the round isn't like built properly, I feel like.
Well, Hunter holding down the -1 for just 1 kill, and he throws back and Turtle tracks Nico. Oh, Nico's having a rough time. MIBR not done yet. The bomb plant does make a difference. And this game has to continue for a bit
All
more.
right, so this was actually cool because they're so close to Hut that they don't care if they have the info or not. You could see how they exploded. I was going to say it's a little bit too greedy to not have one player there, but in this sort of a sense, you can see how it works perfectly. I think Hunter was even on a nade on top of Hut.
And Hooksy was rotating.
When they were initially coming out, so actually that's a pretty cool round from MIBR. Props to them.
Okay, well, money is going to be depleted here from G2 to get this buy through. Nico and Monacy have a little bit of residual. Don't get it done now. We're going the distance. That's a double.
Okay, Monacy. He's going to burn away, though. After that, I think it's you got in a burning blaze of glory, really, when you get a collateral like that, at least. But 4 versus 3, a lot of time. Still to work with here for MIBR.
What a miserable way to potentially lose this round.
Yeah, that would be horrible, wouldn't it?
We'll catch this one again.
Here we go, Monacy. Boom!
He
A double.
hits the ball here in the end, so while he's blind. Again, they don't seem to be reacting to lower. You know, it doesn't seem like it's even communicated they could be down because JKS isn't. Well, he's only watching ramp, it feels like, at this moment.
Well, Nico's got the orb now. He's picked this one up. We're really throwing back the years now. It's going to be the angle that he's holding.
That's how you know he's frustrated.
Yeah, see, he wasn't ready for lower either.
Yeah.
It's
Insani came from lower up secret.
Yeah, and Hunter might get caught here on the timing as well.
Oh, well, he's looking the right way now, so...
Hunter.
And he goes down, and no problem there for Hunter in the end. But Insani can flash his teammate up the vent.
That was nice.
It's a good move, and Turtle will now cross safely beyond the door. Now he can go and take down Hunter at the back of the site, which means Hooksy's position is far more important here in the final 30 seconds. JKS at Heaven, not going yet because he knows he's likely being watched by Insani, so they will let this ball go down. Hooksy will then make this first move, and he has maybe let rip a little bit too early. Oh, Insani slaughters him, and now JKS, he can just get on it. He's got the kit right in front of him, switches out to the M4, but the longer he takes, the quicker Insani can get to Heaven, and JKS realizes that, positions himself behind the blue box, and JKS with a brilliant move to close it. G2 will continue their streak on Nuke, and they take themselves a 2-0 victory. 16 in a row now if we include the online games, 13 for LAN only on this map, but that was pretty labored, all things considered, right? I know that they get the win, and normally I'm on that bright side, but with a couple of things you were pointing out, Yanko, would you be happy with that?
No, now that the game is over, I'm going to be critical. The thing that matters the most is the win, right? I mean, you're in a tournament environment, but absolutely you're not going to be happy.